As the sun dipped below the horizon, Nashville came alive with the buzz of an evening concert. The air was electric, filled with the sounds of laughter, chatter, and music drifting from the stage. Fans of all ages packed the venue, their excitement palpable as they eagerly awaited one of music's greatest icons. Colorful lights flashed in rhythm to the beat, casting a magical glow over the sea of faces that beamed with anticipation. The aroma of popcorn and cotton candy wafted through the crowd, mingling with the sweet smell of summer nights. Children danced on their parents' shoulders, while friends sang along to familiar tunes. Everywhere you looked, there was joy. Bright T-shirts adorned with Elvis's image and banners waving proudly in support of their idol. Among this vibrant crowd stood a little girl who seemed out of place yet somehow perfectly fitting in with her innocence. Wearing a soft pink ruffled dress that fluttered in the warm evening breeze, she stood on her seat to get a better view of the stage. Her light blonde hair framed her face as she clutched a cardboard sign that read, "I miss my dad." The words were simple yet heavy with meaning, reflecting a longing that pierced through the merriment around her. As Elvis Presley took to the stage in his dazzling rhinestone jumpsuit, white adorned with striking red and blue details, the crowd erupted into cheers. His voice echoed across the venue, captivating every heart present. But amidst all this glamour and joyous noise, it was the little girl's wide-eyed gaze that caught his attention. In that moment, an unspoken connection formed between them, setting off a chain of events that would change this concert into something truly unforgettable. As Elvis dazzled the audience with his powerful voice and charismatic presence, one little girl remained fixated on him. Standing atop her seat, she drew the eyes of those around her, not just for her height but for her poignant innocence. At just 6 years old, she carried the weight of her emotions in a way that contrasted sharply with the lively festivities surrounding her. Her light blonde hair was neatly styled into bangs that framed her cherubic face, highlighting her wide, shimmering blue eyes. Dressed in a soft pink ruffled dress that swayed gently with each movement, she embodied a picture of sweet vulnerability. The delicate fabric glowed under the colorful stage lights, making her appear almost like a little princess amidst the crowd of concertgoers. In her tiny hands, she clutched a cardboard sign that read, "I miss my dad." The simple words were written in bright crayon colors, and they seemed to pulse with emotion. While other children screamed with excitement and waved their hands in delight, this girl stood still, searching the faces in the crowd for something, or someone, she was missing. Her expression spoke volumes. Even among laughter and music, a sense of longing lingered in the air around her. As she scanned the sea of people, it was clear that this concert meant more to her than just a musical performance. With every cheer and shout from the audience, her excitement didn't match theirs. Instead, she seemed to be waiting for a moment that would fill the emptiness she felt inside. The combination of her hopeful gaze and heartfelt message captured not only Elvis's attention but also the hearts of everyone watching. This connection marked the beginning of something extraordinary at that concert, something that would soon become unforgettable. The sign the little girl held, with its bold crayon letters spelling out, "I miss my dad," resonated deeply with everyone in the venue. It was an innocent yet heart-wrenching declaration that brought a hush over the crowd. While others around her were lost in the joy of the concert, her message carried a weight of longing and sorrow that was hard to ignore. It was a reminder that even in the midst of celebration, there are moments of emptiness and loss. As she stood on her seat, clutching the sign tightly, it became clear to the audience that her presence was not just about enjoying the music. It was about expressing a deep emotional truth. Children often embody pure emotions, unfiltered by societal expectations, and this little girl was no exception. Her wide eyes reflected a mixture of hope and sadness, and as she scanned the crowd, it seemed as though she was searching for comfort amid her pain. For many in the audience, her heartfelt message echoed their own experiences of missing loved ones. This connection fostered an understanding among strangers. They could feel her yearning permeating through the air. The vibrant atmosphere of the concert faded into a poignant silence as spectators began to grasp the gravity of what she was conveying. Elvis Presley, known for his ability to connect with fans on a personal level, couldn't help but be affected by this powerful moment. The girl's sign transformed from mere cardboard into a symbol of love and loss that transcended age and circumstance. It served as a gentle reminder that behind every joyful face may lie untold stories and deep emotions waiting to be seen and acknowledged, something that would soon touch not only Elvis but everyone present that night. As the concert reached its peak, the moment Elvis Presley stepped onto the stage, the air crackled with excitement. Dressed in his iconic rhinestone white jumpsuit, adorned with sparkling red and blue details, he radiated charisma and energy that captivated everyone in the venue. The jumpsuit shimmered under the bright stage lights, creating a dazzling effect that matched his electrifying presence. With a confident smile, Elvis engaged the audience from the very first note, filling the air with his powerful voice that seemed to soar above the crowd's cheers. His dynamic movements, twists, turns, and signature hip swings energized the audience, transforming waves of joy into an infectious rhythm. Fans of all ages sang along, their voices blending into a harmonious celebration of music and love for their idol. Elvis knew how to connect with his fans on a personal level, often pointing into the crowd, making eye contact, and sharing anecdotes that made each listener feel like they were part of something extraordinary. The atmosphere was electric as his magnetic charm lit up the night, lifting spirits higher with every song. But even amid this vibrant energy, his eyes occasionally wandered across the audience until they locked onto the little girl in her pink dress. The contrast between her poignant sign and his lively performance created a surreal moment. While he was immersed in performing for thousands, one small soul held a piece of his attention. As he sang his beloved hits, the excitement rippled through those watching, but there was also an undercurrent of emotion that began to weave its way through the crowd. With every powerful chord and heartfelt lyric, Elvis not only entertained but stirred something deeper within every listener, a shared experience of joy and connection that would soon lead to an unforgettable interaction. As Elvis continued to perform, his eyes swept across the audience, soaking in the joy and energy of the moment. However, when they landed on the little girl in the pink ruffled dress, everything else faded away. There was an undeniable spark in that instant, a silent recognition that transcended the noise of the concert. His heart seemed to skip a beat as he locked eyes with her, a connection forming that felt both profound and intimate amid the sea of fans. For her part, the girl's wide blue eyes widened even more, filled with wonder and hope as she looked up at her idol. Despite the dazzling lights and pulsing music surrounding them, it was as if time stood still just for them. In that fleeting moment, Elvis saw more than just a young fan. He saw a child expressing deep feelings of loss and longing through her simple sign. That understanding pulled at his heartstrings, igniting something within him that demanded action. The audience hushed as they sensed this powerful exchange unfolding. It was a rare moment where a performer became deeply aware of their impact on an individual's life. Elvis's expression shifted from one of vibrant performance to one of genuine compassion as he stepped closer to the edge of the stage. He tilted his head slightly, encouraging her to feel seen and heard in a way that few could understand. With each passing second, the connection deepened. The energy in the arena shifted from excitement to poignant anticipation. The crowd held its breath, fully aware that something special was about to happen between this legendary performer and an innocent little girl. The atmosphere thickened with emotion, creating a shared sense of empathy among everyone present as they awaited what would come next. A moment that would change not only the concert but also their lives forever. As Elvis approached the little girl, the energy in the arena shifted dramatically. The once vibrant sounds of clapping and cheering faded into a hushed silence as the audience collectively held its breath. Thousands of eyes were glued to the scene unfolding before them, an unspoken understanding circulating through the crowd that something incredibly special was about to take place. Everyone leaned forward in their seats, anticipation hanging thick in the air like a delicate thread connecting them all. The atmosphere transformed from one of joyous excitement to an intense focus on this singular moment. Elvis kneeling beside a small child who had captured his attention and, in turn, theirs. Each person shared in her vulnerability, feeling a blend of hope and concern as they watched their idol selflessly engage with her. Caught in this magnetic exchange, the crowd felt as if they were part of a larger story that transcended the concert itself. Hearts raced and breaths were held. Even those who had come merely for entertainment found themselves deeply invested in what was happening on stage. This wasn't just another performance, it was a chance to witness compassion in action, igniting feelings within each spectator. When Elvis gently asked the girl what happened, the tension intensified as every ear strained to hear her response. The gasps that followed her answer echoed through the venue like ripples in a pond, highlighting the emotional weight of her words and confirming just how connected everyone felt to this poignant moment. It was clear that they were not just audience members but witnesses to an extraordinary act of kindness that would resonate far beyond the concert hall. As they silently cheered on Elvis's next move, it became evident that this interaction would be what everyone talked about long after the last song was sung. As Elvis knelt beside the little girl, the world around them seemed to melt away, leaving just the two of them in that moment. His expression softened, revealing a genuine warmth that instantly put her at ease amidst the overwhelming crowd. "Hey there, sweetie," he said softly, his voice a gentle melody that contrasted with the energetic atmosphere of the concert. "What's your name?" "Tina," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper, but her eyes sparkled with hope and admiration. Elvis smiled, encouraging her with a nod as he leaned in closer, clearly invested in what she had to say. "And what's going on?" he asked, his tone filled with concern. Tina's little hands trembled slightly as she lifted the cardboard sign just a bit higher. "I miss my dad," she said, her voice cracking under the weight of her emotion. The words hung in the air, heavy and filled with longing. The audience watched in silence, hearts aching as they felt her vulnerability radiate through the arena. Elvis's brow furrowed in compassion as he processed her response. "I know how that feels," he said gently, his sincerity resonating with everyone listening. "Sometimes life can be really tough." He looked into her eyes, conveying a sense of understanding that transcended words. The crowd remained still, fully invested in this tender exchange. They could see the connection forming, a bond between a legendary performer and a little girl who needed reassurance. Elvis reached out and placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "You're not alone," he reassured her, his eyes glistening with empathy. "We all have people we miss." In that fleeting moment, it was clear that Elvis wasn't just a star on stage. He was a kind-hearted man offering support to a child in need. The audience felt this compassion seep into their hearts, solidifying their admiration for him not just as an entertainer but as someone truly caring. As Elvis knelt next to Tina, the moment felt heavy with emotion. The audience, still and silent, leaned in closer, eager to hear her response. With trembling hands, she lifted her sign a little higher, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "My dad he's in heaven," she finally whispered, her voice barely audible yet piercing through the stillness like a fragile note in a symphony. The words hung in the air, an echo of innocence intertwined with profound loss. Gasps rippled through the crowd as they absorbed the weight of her answer. The realization that this little girl was grappling with such deep sorrow sent waves of empathy washing over everyone present. In that instant, the concert transformed from an entertainment spectacle into a shared moment of raw humanity. Elvis's expression shifted from concern to compassion as he processed her words. He could feel the collective heartache of the audience. Parents hugged their children a bit tighter, friends exchanged knowing glances, and strangers wiped away tears. It was a reminder that music could not only uplift spirits but also connect people through their shared experiences of love and loss. The atmosphere thickened with emotion as Tina continued, "I just want him to come back." The vulnerability in her voice resonated with many who had faced similar feelings of longing for someone they loved. For those in attendance, her simple yet heartbreaking statement encapsulated what it meant to miss someone deeply, a feeling that transcended age and circumstance. Elvis took a deep breath, clearly moved by her honesty. He knelt closer and said softly, "I'm so sorry, honey." His gentle tone was filled with understanding and warmth, as he sought to comfort not just Tina but also everyone who felt touched by her grief. This moment became a poignant reminder of how love persists even when separated by distance or loss, a truth that would linger long after the night ended. After Tina's heartfelt confession, Elvis took a moment to gather his emotions. The audience could see the impact her words had on him, as he leaned closer to her and spoke with a soothing tone. "You know, sweetheart," he began, "your dad loves you very much, and he's always with you in your heart." His words were tender, offering comfort not just to Tina but to all who were witnessing this intimate moment. Then, with a compassionate smile, Elvis stood up and took off his iconic rhinestone jacket. He held it out to her, saying, "I want you to have this. It will keep you warm and remind you that you're never alone." The gesture was simple yet profound, symbolizing his desire to comfort the little girl in her time of sorrow. Tina's eyes widened in surprise and delight as she reached out to accept the shimmering jacket, her face lighting up with a mix of joy and disbelief. The crowd erupted into applause, their hearts swelling with admiration for Elvis's kindness. This wasn't just a celebrity performing, it was a man showing genuine compassion towards a child in need. The moment captured the essence of what Elvis stood for, his ability to connect with people on a personal level beyond the glitz and glamour of fame. As Elvis knelt down again, he wrapped an arm around Tina's shoulders, pulling her close for a quick hug. "You're so brave," he whispered, causing tears to glisten in the eyes of many fans watching. The audience felt united in this emotional exchange. It transformed them from mere spectators into participants in an extraordinary act of love and support. In that defining moment of his tour, Elvis not only made an unforgettable impression on Tina but also touched the hearts of everyone present. It became clear that this concert would be remembered not just for the music but for the genuine humanity displayed on stage, a legacy that echoed far beyond the night itself. In the days and weeks following the concert, the story of Elvis's heartfelt interaction with Tina spread like wildfire. Fans who had been present that night recounted the touching moment to friends and family, sharing how a simple act of kindness transformed an ordinary concert into an extraordinary experience. News outlets picked up the story, featuring photos and videos of Elvis kneeling beside the little girl, highlighting both his compassion and the emotional weight of her message. Social media buzzed as people shared their own stories of loss and longing, inspired by Tina's bravery. Many fans expressed how Elvis's gesture reminded them of their own loved ones who had passed away, creating a ripple effect of empathy that resonated far beyond the concert hall. Posts flooded in with hashtags celebrating compassion in music and community, marking this moment as a testament to the power of connection through shared experiences. Elvis became not just a musical icon but a symbol of humanity that night. His ability to reach out and touch hearts left an indelible mark on his fans, proving that music is not only about entertainment but also about healing and support. Conversations about the concert turned into discussions about love, loss, and the importance of being there for one another in times of need. As time went on, this moment became one of the defining stories of Elvis's tour, a reminder that even in a world filled with noise and distraction, genuine compassion can shine through. The memory of Tina's sign, coupled with Elvis's warm embrace and heartfelt words, served as a beacon of hope for many. This powerful story would echo through future concerts, inspiring both artists and audiences alike to cherish the connections formed through music, showcasing how compassion can unite us all in our highest moments of joy and our deepest moments of sorrow.